We got a battle for the ages today. Batgirl versus Bane. Raquel versus Origin.
You think the darkness is your ally?
We are doing a head-to-head painting of heroes versus supervillains. Woo!
To do something a little bit different today, I'm going to play with a lot of inks. The only exceptions are going to be for the skin tone. Here you can see what I started out with. I got the blue plastic of the security guard, gray plastic's Bane. Decided to take him into the kitchen, boil him up, and move him around a little bit. It didn't work quite as well as what I wanted, but it made it so that I could pose the security guard laying on his back. In order to get the models ready for paint, I'm doing two different techniques. The first one's going to be pinning. You can see here I'm drilling into Bane's feet, putting some metal rods in, and then the second one's just going to be sticky tacking the base, along with the security guard, onto a painting handle.
Oh, you think painting is your ally? You merely adopted the paint. I was born in it, molded by it.
The zenithal prime on these guys is really helpful, especially since I'm using the inks. Those inks are going to allow that zenithal to show through a little bit. If you haven't seen Raquel in any other videos, she runs Raqrex Art. Once you're done enjoying this Bane video, head on over there, check out her Batgirl video. I'll leave you a link below. Once I got through the priming step, it became really apparent that Bane's neck had some major problems, so it was time to get out some Milliput. I can work this into that crack real well. It really hides that seam line, and then you can use some water to help rinse it off the high points. Alright, about time. Finally getting onto some paint. My thought here was to start out with the base. That way if I made any mistakes, I wouldn't be smudging it all over that security guard's nice uniform. And for that guard's uniform, I'm going to come in with some of the blue ink and lay down a nice flat base. After that base is on there, I'm going to grab a little bit of black, add it to the blue, and start working on my shadows. After that, it's time to do the highlights, so I grabbed some more pure blue, started adding a little bit of white, and working on the raised areas. On these boots, you can really see how the zenithal is working out for me. Both the transparency of the ink and the fact that it pools in some areas gives a lot of good variation without too much effort. Moving on to his demolition case, I'm just going to be doing this in a series of black and grays. No fancy color names for you on this one, just mixing white and black ink. Throughout this entire project, I'm going to be using a lot of hashing, a lot of rough lines. I want it to kind of feel like that comic book look. A little more black ink here for the vest. And this is my first non-ink paint. These skin tones are going to be Vallejo Game Air Burned Flesh and Flesh. I'll be using the same two colors on Bane and the security guard. I'll just be using them in slightly different quantities to vary up the skin tones. For his visor, I wanted something that would pop but wouldn't quite take over. So I'm doing some white slashes, and then I'm going to cover that all up with yellow ink. What you're seeing here is me picking out the muscles, trying to make those fibers. I'm going to do that over the entire body. I'm also adding some of this black ink in here just to give that real dark, punchy shadow. Bane's pants are going to be pretty similar to the briefcase that the demo guys got. The difference is going to be that his pants are going to be a lot smoother. Less of the hashing. Here's another break from the inks. This is a Pro Acryl Silver. I'm just going to lay down one solid coat. Then I'm going to mix a little bit of black ink in and make my shadows. Then once I've got both those colors on there, I'm just going to feather them together and get a nice transition. This is going to be the same process for the collars, knee pads, and for his back. Alright, now we're going to pick out Bane's veins. What I'm looking for here is a nice base coat to put some green over top so it can be really bright and vibrant. Now to get these pipes a little bit brighter, I'm going to be mixing my yellow and my white into the green. Just to give me a highlight color, I'm going to do that in probably 2 or 3 passes. The leather straps are pretty simple, just laying down the base brown and then blending in white to make those highlights. The mask is going to be the exact same thing as the pants. Black base, build up the grays, put some white in. The only thing I'm really paying attention to is I'm getting some white inside the eye so I can put some green over top of it later. Alright, we're getting close, guys, going back to that base. I'm going to do a little bit of a dry brush style technique just to get the raised surface there. What you're seeing here is the green ink, which is already pretty thin, watered down, and being used as a glaze. I'm trying to create a little bit of vibrancy inside those pipes, making it look like they're casting light. Time to drill some holes in the base, get them ready for Bane's feet. After those are made, you can put any old super glue on there, slap them together, and they'll get a good bond. Once that super glue is fully set up, not before, or else you're going to scrap that brush. I've done it a couple times. I'm grabbing some weathering pigments and come back in just to tie the two pieces together. And there we have it, one poor guard and a really angry Bane. Thanks for sticking with it, guys. This one's been really fun. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed painting it. The style was quite different from what I've been doing, and so that was a really nice break. If you got any questions or comments, go ahead and put them down below. As always, thanks for sharing this painting journey with me. Make sure you go check out Raquel's Batgirl, and I'll see you guys in the next one.